Hello everyone, this is part 26 of What If Naruto Had Two Bloodlines, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Orochimaru. Well then, shall we begin? The third prepared himself for any assault that may come. Orochimaru. Ha 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 ha, do you know, the happiness and sense of accomplishment you gain when you have the chance to hurt the one you once called sensei? I thought I'd have you experience that pleasure, and so I prepared this situation just for you. Evil grin, please, enjoy yourself. The third couldn't take it any longer. He charged ready to teach his former student a lesson. Third. Fire style, fire dragon napalm. He took in a deep breath and from his mouth released a flame in the shape of a great dragon. This, however, wasn't good enough as his opponents devised a counter. Second. Water style, water barrier jutsu. From his mouth poured a great deal of water, enough to extinguish the three roads' attack and protect them from any stray flames. From the remaining water, he formed his next move. Second. Water style, water dragon missile. Third. Earth style, mudslide barrier. From the three roads' mouth, he spewed a wave of mud that soon hardened to that of stone. With this, he was able to turn back the tide. First. Forest genesis. Third. This is the secret ability that only the first can use. From the roof and all over, vines began to sprout. The third did all he could to avoid them, but, while he was making hand seals, he was restrained against the very same wall he had created. Orochimaru. Ha ha, snidely, you're in a bit of a bind, aren't you, Sarutobi-sensei? All seemed lost as the third could hardly move at all. Mustering all he could, however, the third briefly broke free and managed to summon something. Third. Come forth, Monkey King, Enma. Before them appeared a large monkey with clothes similar to the three roads and a leaf village headband. Enma looks around. Orochimaru. So, it's come to this after all. Looks at the third. You're pathetic, you know that, Sarutobi. This is all because you wouldn't K him when you had the chance. Third. That's what we're going to do here and now. No more sympathy from this old timer. Enma. HMPH. You're a little too late. Third. Enma, just get on with it. Enma quickly changed his form. He transformed into a big fighting staff similar to Naruto's. Enma then proceeded to free the third from his ensnarement and the two prepared to fight. Third. I haven't held a staff like this for a while now, not since I gave Naruto my old one for his birthday. I hope that boy is alright. The Sand team were making their way to a safer location but was soon passed and cut off by Sasuke. There's no escape. Naruto. So, are we gaining on Sasuke yet? Pakken. We're catching up. It's probably not as fast as you'd like, but we are. Also, there's numerous sense. Someone else besides us must be chasing him as well. Sakura. Is it an enemy or an ally? Pakken. I don't know, only that it's not human. Naruto. Hang on, Sasuke. We've got to get back to the village and fast. I have a bad feeling, Grandpa. Orochimaru. Haha, it's finally beginning to get interesting. From his mouth a snake shirred and from the snake's mouth a sword was pulled. It was the legendary sword of Kusanagi and Orochimaru planned on using it against his former teacher. Third. Here we go, Enma. He attacked, forcing the two former Hokages aside, and the Enma staff stretched itself towards Orochimaru. He managed to block it with the flat side of his sword and the third was knocked back by the first and second. Orochimaru. For you to come charging in head-on like that without even using any shadow clones, you're becoming senile, you old fool. You were once known as the Professor, for knowing and being able to use all the jutsu that exist in the leaf. Please don't disappoint me too much, Sarutobi-sensei. Just then, an explosion was set off. When the dust cleared, the two Hokages' legs had been blown off. It was a good idea, but their boss soon began to regenerate. Orochimaru. I see. When they kicked him, he placed the explosive tags, ha ha ha, but it's useless. Third. Just as I thought, I must do something about the souls that are trapped by the Edo Tensei. If that's the case, then I'll have to resort to the 40H's technique. I'll have to use that jutsu. There's no other way. Orochimaru, well, now what will you do? Smug look on his face. Third, the jutsu exchange stops here. From here on, it's gonna be a blood-drenched free-for-all, just like how a shinobi battle should be. The Edo Tensei, even if I were to K Orochimaru, the jutsu would not likely be dispersed, in which case, please forgive me. First, second. The third picked himself up and prepared to use a technique. Orochimaru, you've grown old, haven't you? I've never seen you strain so much, ha ha ha. Third, trying to focus, what's so funny? Orochimaru, it's so pitiful, even you, he who was hailed as the god of shinobi, cannot defeat old age. Orochimaru reached to the side of his face and began peeling off the skin. Once he was done, he revealed what exactly he meant. The Anbu still watching were astonished as Orochimaru wasn't as old as they believed. He wasn't even male. Third, shocked. Who the hell are you? Orochimaru, female voice, is it that much of a shock that you can't figure it out? It's me, I'm Orochimaru. Third, you can't mean, you already have achieved the completion of that kinjutsu. Orochimaru, female voice, ha ha ha, it's been more than 10 years since I left the village, I suffered quite a bit. Third, you terrifying inhuman creature, you. This was one of the reasons I didn't choose you to be the fourth Hokage, because of your sick and twisted ideology. Orochimaru, female voice, you knew of how I wanted to obtain all jutsus and gain a true understanding of everything in this world. As you know, it is impossible to do that in one lifetime, so, due to my experiments, I am able to accomplish this with my immortality jutsu, where I anchor my spirit to this world forever. So, my life will never end, only begin again and again in the form of a new body, like the girl I am using now. Third, then why? Orochimaru, female voice, why did I disguise myself as my old self? Because I thought I'd let you feel nostalgic about the past. To grow old, how destitute it can be, when I look at you, I can feel it deeply. You will less here and I will obtain a younger, more spectacular, stronger body. The leaf really entertains me to no end. Third, I see, Sasuke Uchiha, ha. Orochimaru, female voice, yes, that's exactly it. I want Sasuke. Licks hiss out Ora chops. Third, a reincarnation jutsu that steals the body of another and makes the spirit immortal. What number face, body, is that one? Orochimaru, female voice, it's the second one. I intend to possess Sasuke after he grows up a bit more to my tastes. Chuckles, ha ha ha, but to have to cursing your fate and regretting your entire life, I suppose my other face would be best for that. Orochimaru placed Hisato Ora hand over Hisato Ora face and returned to his familiar appearance. In one swift motion, the first used his ability to attack the third once again. If it weren't for the three roads' quick reflexes, he'd be restrained once again. Orochimaru laughs, you mustn't let your guard down now, sensei. You always were too compassionate. The attack of the first kept up until the third was cornered and Enma had to step in. He transformed into a barred cage and protected him from any further harm. Third, malice and ambition have always been hidden within his eyes, but he had such potential. I have always been aware, I knew about it but acted as if I couldn't see the dangers, a genius bursting with tremendous abilities in a time of chaos, because he was, without a doubt, a talent only found every few decades. He would be the one to carry on my will and strength. I wanted to think it would be so, and it would be this weakness of mine that allowed all of this to happen. I'll do it. Looks intensely at Orochimaru, I'll K you now to correct my past mistake. Orochimaru, hey, really? It's already too late. Third, Shadow Clone Jutsu. Orochimaru, ha, you really have grown senile. To think that you'd shorten your own life out of impatience. The third created two clones and together they. Enma, the Order of the Seals, there's no mistaking it, Sarutobi plans on using. He finished his seals and something ghostly appeared to him. Third, this must be the death god the fourth spoke of. Only those who form a contract with this being by using this jutsu can see it. Behind the third appeared a demonic-looking specter. Orochimaru, it's already too late. No matter what you do, I've won. The leaf is going to be destroyed. Third, the leaf village is my home. The Hokage is one who acts as the main pillar of the house, holding above everything else and protecting it. He's the one who carries the wool of the leaf, entrusted with it, it won't be that easy for you. First, Genjutsu, Bringer of Darkness. The entire area went dark in front of the third and his clones. Since he could barely see the hand in front of his face, there was little chance of him seeing the attacks that sprang from the darkness. Orochimaru, what absurd nonsense. You're just, for a short while, one of the leaders in the history of the organization called the Leaf. Even the remains of the rock portrait will eventually crumble and fade. Third, HMPH. To me, the Leaf Village isn't just an organization. Every year there are a lot of shinobi born and raised in the Leaf Village. They live, fight to protect the village, and to protect what's precious to them, they will go to the death. Even if we are not related by blood, those of the villager, to me, my most precious, most important, family. Orochimaru laughs, well, as the main pillar, I'll break you in half and cause the House of the Leaf to crumble. Third, HMPH. Even if you were to K me, the beam won't break. I'm the man who inherited the wool of the leaf, the wool of the first and second. I am the third Hokage. No matter how much you target the Leaf Village, there will be a new Hokage who'll inhert my wool and become the pillar to protect the House of the Leaf. Orochimaru, I'll show you a special jutsu that not even you know about. Enchantment spell, Demon Imprisonment. The clones fanned out to find their targets and grabbed a hold of them. As they did, the death god behind the third prepared himself and reached into the soul being offered to him. In doing so, his arm reached through the shadow clone's boss and retrieved the souls of the first and second, nullifying the darkness of the genjutsu. Orochimaru. The darkness disappeared. What is that jutsu? First, sorry, Sarutobi. Second, we've caused you a lot of trouble. Third, please forgive me. First. Second, their souls were completely sped from their boss and sealed within the Sarutobi clones. All that was left was a seal similar to the one that appears on Naruto's stomach. The boss used for the Hokages were revealed to be that of the Sound Genin that took part in the Chunin exams. Third, you take even the lives of your subordinates so lightly. Tears began to well up in the Three Roads' eyes as the clones dispersed. He knew that if he wanted the madness that is Orochimaru to be stopped, he would have to go that extra mile and go through with it. He grabbed Enma while Orochimaru grabbed his Kusanagi and attacked. The clang of weapons was all that could be heard as the trees inside the barrier blocked the ANBUS vision. Using his own arm, Enma was able to disarm Orochimaru, but was subdued by his next attack. Orochimaru, sublime snake hands. Snakes crept from his arm and wrapped around Enma in his staff form. While Orochimaru was distracted by this, the third grabbed him and began the same process he did with the Hokages. Third, this is the end. A hand sprang from his body and into Orochimaru's, causing him to drop his sword. Orochimaru, what is this sensation? This is bad. Desperate, Orochimaru called forth his sword which lunged itself in the Three Roads' body. Enma returned to his original form and kept the sword from going all the way through the Three Roads' body, but it was still there. Orochimaru winces, why didn't you avoid it? Third, this jutsu, in exchange for this jutsu to work, you hand over your soul to death. It's a sealing jutsu you pay for, with your life. There was no need to avoid your attack, I'll anyway. Once the sealing is complete, my soul and yours will be consumed simultaneously. It's the jutsu of the hero, who once upon a time, saved this village. With this jutsu, I'll take you with me. Orochimaru, you mean, this was the jutsu that sealed the Ninetales? Third, yes, I'll drag your soul out of your body soon, and seal you as well. Orochimaru tried to use a jutsu to escape, but his body wouldn't respond. The more his soul was pulled, the more clearly he could see the death god behind the third. What a horrifying sight to behold. Third, with this jutsu, the ones whose souls are sealed will suffer for all eternity in the belly of death, never gaining release. The one who is sealed and the one who performed the seal, their souls will be entangled, hating each other and battling for all eternity. Orochimaru, don't be foolish you old fart. I'm not going to go quietly. Hurry up and motioning his sword. He managed to get his sword to force itself further into the Three Roads' body, loosening the grip on his soul. The giant three-headed snake was still giving the Leaf Shinobis trouble until a giant frog dropped from the sky and crushed it. On top of the frog was none other than Ibiki, Master Jiraiya. Jiraiya, long time no see, Ibiki, where's the third? Abiki, at the test arena. Jiraiya, I see, don't get yourself ked, old man. Third, we've come this far, could it be, I've lost the ability to pull out his soul? This old body of mine. Orochimaru, it seems that he doesn't have enough strength left. If you were 10 years younger, then you'd be able to K me. Hey hey hey. Kankuro had told Temari to continue on with Gaara. He would be Sasuke's opponent. After their departure, a voice cried out that his opponent wasn't Sasuke. Shino, I'll be your opponent. Sasuke, Shino, what are you doing here? Shino, before you left the arena, I placed a female bug on you. The scent of the female is nearly non-existent. Only the males of the same species can trace the faint scent of such females. Walks up to Sasuke. Sasuke Uchiha, you go after Gaara. After all, your match with him has yet to be decided. I'll fight this once since I was supposed to be his opponent anyway. I'll catch up to you when I'm done here. Without any complaint, Sasuke was off. Kankuro, he, you guys have no idea. I don't think you guys have experienced true terror. Shino, and so you are going to be the one to show me that sort of terror. Kankuro, no, if you defeat me and catch up with Gaara, you'll experience it then. He unwrapped his puppet and prepared to attack. Shino did the same as his bugs began to crawl all over him. Shino, I am a shinobi of the Leaf Village. No matter how weak my opponent may be, I won't underestimate him. I will fight all out. Kankuro, HMPH. Bring it on. Gaara was beginning to stir, so Temari stopped to check on him. Temari, the thing inside his body is about to awaken. I've got no idea when it'll fully emerge. This is bad. I'm all alone out here. I can't possibly handle that thing alone. Gaara quickly noticed Sasuke's presence and shoved Temari aside with incredible force, slamming her into a tree. Sasuke lands on a tree branch. Although I don't know the motives of your village, I will stop you. Also, I want to see your true face. Gaara, you, that is strong, you, that have companions, you, that has an ambition, you, that is like me. Once I K you, I will be the one to have destroyed all of that. Only then can I survive. Only then can I feel alive. Gaara hunched over in pain as he began to transform. Sand began to pour from his gourd and cover the right side of his face and arm. Once he regained himself, he beckoned for Sasuke to try his luck. Kankuro began the fight by hurling his puppet at Shino, who dodged as a dagger poked from it. Shino now knew that he would have to be cautious, as the weapons of this puppet were not only sharp, they were poisoned. The puppet's head turned and shot a few more daggers at Shino. This time they connected, sticking in Shino's body. Kankuro thought he was done, but was disappointed to see that what he had hit was in fact a bug clone. He turned in time to see and duck a punch from the real Shino. To avoid as much danger as possible, Kankuro jumped a distance away onto another tree branch. Kankuro, you use your insects to create a body clone, and then attack from behind. Not bad. Shino, you use jutsu to fight from a distance. That's why I think you can't handle close combat, because you need to concentrate when using your jutsu. It leaves you wide open. Kankuro, I see you understand the weaknesses of jutsu specialists, but I'll show you how jutsu is used in a real fight. Kankuro's puppet, Crow, lifted its arm and fired a bomb that exploded on contact. It wasn't a destructive explosion, but one that created a shroud of smoke, of poison. Shino quickly retreated from the area of the cloud of poison and noticed that his opponent was nowhere to be found. The same could not be said for his puppet, however. It appeared behind him and in one swift swing of its blades. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.